Okay, in last class we discussed about the internal energy. Internal energy means sum of each and every amount of energy whatever is available inside a system. Clear? Okay, like kinetic energy, it can be a transition energy, it can be potential energy, it can be chemical energy, it can be electrical energy, whatever, each and every type of energy, sum of all the energies is known as the kinetic, is known as the internal energy, represented by capital U. Okay, and if there's a change in energy, we represent it by delta U, that is U2 minus U1, that is final internal energy minus initial internal energy. This is known as change in the internal energy. Okay. Now, internal energy is referred to be positive when the system is transferred, when the energy is transferred into the system. Suppose this is your system. If system is getting internal energy, it is getting some amount of energy, then we say increment in the internal energy and delta U will be positive. Okay. Suppose you are eating food, so it means your internal energy is going to increase. So it will be positive sign. Now suppose you are playing, you are doing some kind of work. So what will happen? You will lose some amount of energy, that your internal energy will be negative. It means that system energy is transferred from system by cooling it or by doing work on the surrounding. When system is doing work, when work is done by system, so it means negative delta U. When work is done on system, then positive delta U. Clear? These 2 points? Okay. Okay. Now, coming to first law of thermodynamics. So first law of thermodynamics states that it is very simple. It is nothing but it's the law of the conservation of energy. Now, what it states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be converted into one form to other form. Like for example, whatever energy you are eating from the food, you will get, you can convert it into mechanical energy. You will do some kind of work. Now that work can be converted into something else. So the total amount of energy of a system and the surrounding must remain constant, although it may change from one to other form. So only form of energy is changing. You are not you can't destroy energy, or you can say create energy, but simply it will convert into one form to other form. Clear? Okay, this is what the first law of thermodynamics. Now what will be its mathematical equation? Internal energy of the system can be increased in two ways. Now u is the internal energy. Now u can be increased in two ways. The first one is if a system with the internal energy U1 absorbs some amount of heat Q. Suppose this is a system. You're giving this some amount of heat. Q amount of heat has been provided. So what will happen? This U1 will be increased to U2. Okay. Obviously, if you're giving heat, some amount of heat, the particles will move here and there. Your kinetic energy will increase. So it means your internal energy will also increase. Clear? So this U2 will be equal to U1 plus Q.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And if you take this U1 on the left and right hand side, so U2 minus U1 will be equal to Q.
Yes, sir.
And this Q is positive. What does it mean? It means energy is given to the system.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है जी, चलिए, fine. Okay. Now, if W is the work done on the system, then the internal energy will be further increased and become equal to this.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
what
So
is,
U2 equals to U1 plus Q plus W.
yes. So we are having W also now.
Yes, sir.
Clear? So
Yes.
two methods to increase the internal energy is provide some amount of heat and work need to be done on the system. So now add W also. So Q plus W.
Uh, yes, it's that. And then U2 minus U1 is delta U.
So U1 minus U क्या हो जाएगा? This will be your
Delta U.
delta U, change in internal
Yes, sir.
energy. So change in internal energy will be equal to Q plus W. Clear है? Is that
Yeah,
point
should I
clear?
write this? Yes, sir.
Yep. This is the mathematical expression for
First
first
law.
law of thermodynamics. Okay? Note it down quickly. अब देखते हैं limitation. Fine. How this is limited. Now it does not tell about the direction of heat flow. It's simply telling that heat has been added. But
Yes, sir.
what about after
Doesn't
that?
tell the direction.
Direction of heat flow? Okay. It does not tell about the extent of convertibility of one form of energy into the another. As per the first law of thermodynamics, they are saying that energy can be converted into one form to another form. But how much?
Okay, so we don't know.
What amount of energy has been converted? So it is not telling you about the how much amount of energy is converted. It can be a 1%, it can be 2%, it can be 10%, it can be 30%. You cannot
Okay,
say
sir.
that. Okay? So efficiency के बारे में they are not telling anything about the efficiency. They will say हाँ जी it will be converted, but कितनी convert होगा नहीं पता. होगा बस. Got it? Clear? It will be there,
Yes, sir.
but how much it will be converted? Sorry, we are not bothered about it. So these are the two limitations of the first law of thermodynamics. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay जी. We will do this later on. अब आ जाओ. Based on the first law of thermodynamics, so we are now going to define some various processes. Whatever we have already covered, those processes, we are going to define them again. Now, isochoric process. Isochoric process means the process in which change in volume is zero. Iso means same, choric means volume. So the process in which delta V
Change.
is equal to zero. याद है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Change in volume.
Change in volume will be equal to zero. Isochoric. Choric means volume. Now, for first law of thermodynamics, we know that delta U will be equal to Q plus W.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. एक second रुको जरा. This is delta U is equal to Q plus W,
Yes, sir. We know.
and delta U will be equal to now Q is equal to this W. What is W? Work done minus P external into delta V.
Oh, yes, sir. That whole formula.
याद है? So
Yes, sir.
this will be equal to minus P external delta V. So this will be the change in the internal energy now. This can be
Yes, sir.
minus or plus depending upon the work is done by the system, work is done on the system. So this will be the work is in this case. If I write this, delta U is equal to Q minus P external delta V. It means heat is added into the system and work is done by the system.
I just did it.
Okay. If it is positive, it means heat is added to the system and work is also done on the system. Okay.
Yes, sir.
अब suppose करो delta U will be equal to minus Q minus P external delta V. Then what does it mean? It means system is losing heat and also doing work. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Minus Q and minus C. Or if it is like this, delta U is equal to minus Q plus external, it means system is losing heat, but work is done on the system. Clear?
Using heat, yes, sir.
System is losing heat
Heat and work is
minus
done
Q and work is done on the system.
on the system.
So depending upon the sign, you have to interpret what kind of things are going on. Okay, chaliye ji.
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to use this first law of thermodynamics in order to define various processes that we have already done. So we have covered that isochoric process is a process in which change in volume will be equal to 0. Now delta U is equal to Q plus W. We all know
Yes, sir.
that. And W is known as minus P external into
Minus
delta V.
yes, sir.
Fine.
And
अब
delta V
delta
is
V is equal to 0 है, तो
yes, sir.
into P external will be equal to 0.
0, yes, sir.
Fine. So it means work is not done.
Yes, sir.
Whenever change in volume is 0, so there it means there won't be any work done. If work is done is 0, then
And
whatever the change in the internal energy is there, it is because of the change in the heat. Got it? So at this situation, when in the case of isochoric process, the change in the internal energy is because of the change in the heat only. I'm again repeating. Sushant, am I audible?
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm again repeating. In the isochoric process, delta V is equal to 0, which means the change in the internal energy of a system is only because of the heat.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
and that
got it.
heat, which is at the constant volume, is known as QV. So heat
So why
supplied
does V
as
come, sir?
V, yeah, QV. V is a denotation that it means this is going at the constant volume.
Okay,
This
so
V is not the volume. This is simply a subscript is written to show that this Q is the that this thing is going on at the constant
constant.
volume. Okay, that is the increase in the internal energy of the system is equal to the heat absorbed by the system at constant volume. Okay,
Yes, sir. So heat is constant here.
heat is not constant. Volume is
So
constant, beta.
then why does V come, sir? I didn't check.
Beta,
That
अच्छा एक बार
QV.
this V is just a denotation for the constant volume. That
Oh,
this
okay, sir.
whole thing
Okay,
is
okay,
happening at the constant volume.
okay, okay.
अब जैसे सपोज कर आप जीन्स लेके आए, अब लिवाइस की जीन्स लेके आओगे तो लिवाइस का ब्रांड का स्टिकर चिपका होगा.
Yes, sir.
अब पता कैसे लगेगा कि आपको ये जीन्स लिवाइस की है या फिर ये फिर डेनिम उसकी है, डेंजिन की है या फिर ये
Like see from
वैंगलर की है.
stickers, sir.
स्टिकर से पता लगेगा.
Yes, sir.
अब ये क्यू वी का मतलब है सिंपल स्टिकर है, मतलब ये जो हीट चेंज
Okay,
हो रहा है इसके अंदर, दैट हीट
okay.
चेंज इज बिकॉज ऑफ द कांस्टेंट वॉल्यूम.
Yeah, okay, sir.
गॉट इट क्लियर.
Yes, sir.
अब ये पॉजिटिव है, अगर इसका मतलब एट कांस्टेंट वॉल्यूम यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग हीट. भाई मेरे
Okay.
पास ये सिस्टम था, इसकी वॉल्यूम थी V1, 2 लीटर वॉल्यूम थी. आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग हीट Q, amount of heat, and volume remain 2 liter only. So this Q will be known as QV. Q subscript V. It means that this is at
On the
constant volume.
constant volume. Yes,
क्लियर हो गई बात.
yes, sir.
सिमिलरली मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, इसमें से हीट को बाहर भी निकाल देता हूँ. So this will become minus QV.
Okay, so got it.
In
Okay,
both
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
cases, internal energy is going to change. So you can add some amount of heat also. You can absorb or to take out some amount of heat also. ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
फाइन.
Uh,
अब एक बात बताओ, U is an internal function. U
yes, sir.
is
You
a
said.
state function. Sorry,
Yes, sir. You
internal energy is
said.
a state function. State function means it only depend upon the first and the initial and the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
final. Okay,
Finally.
final one. U, internal energy, it doesn't depend upon the path.
Yes, sir.
Fine,
So QV is
because
also
it
state
is
also.
the sum of each and every amount of energy. Now suppose you potential energy is decreased, but some amount of kinetic energy is not decreased. So if you are summing up each and everything, U is internal energy is supposed to be a state function. It do not depend upon the path which is going to be followed. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so this
Yes, sir.
QV is also a state function. delta U will be equal to
Yes, sir.
QV.
Yes, sir. If you stick, yes, both are stick.
First point is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay जी. Now coming to next point, isobaric. Isobaric का मतलब external pressure is constant. Baric means pressure, iso means same. So in this case, external pressure we are keeping constant.
Okay, sir.
Delta V is not equal to zero. There is
Okay.
a change in volume. Remember that. We are simply keeping the pressure constant, but volume can be changed. Clear?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Like pressure cooker. Pressure cooker में if pressure is increasing, what will happen? सीटी मार देता है वो,
Okay, sir. Got it.
है ना?
Yes, sir.
बट सपोज करो ये जो प्रेशर कुकर है इसका साइज भी बढ़ रहा है और इंक्रीज हो रहा है, छोटा हो रहा है. जो हमारे पास प्रेशर कुकर है, प्रेशर कुकर मेरे पास कैसा सिस्टम है? आइसोकोरिक सिस्टम है और आइसोबारिक भी है.
Yes,
मेरी
both.
वॉल्यूम भी चेंज नहीं होती प्रेशर
Yes,
कुकर
sir.
के अंदर, मेरा ये क्या कहते हैं उसे, प्रेशर भी चेंज नहीं होता.
So both are constant. Yes, sir. When
भाई
touching.
प्रेशर कुकर की
Both.
वॉल्यूम स्टील का बना हुआ है,
Yes, sir.
वो एक्सपेंड तो हो नहीं सकता, ऑब्वियस सी बात है. ठीक है. और
Yes,
जैसे ही उसके अंदर प्रेशर बढ़ता है, वो क्या करता है, उठा के जो है सीटी मार देता है, प्रेशर को रिलीज कर देता है. ठीक है. अब सपोज
yes,
कर ऐसा कोई प्रेशर कुकर है जिसके अंदर वो सीटी तो मारता है और साथ साथ उसकी वॉल्यूम भी चेंज हो जाती है. वो सीटी मारने की जगह पे वो वॉल्यूम को इस तरीके से एक्सपेंड कर देता है अपनी, कि सो दैट कि प्रेशर रिमेन कांस्टेंट. अगर आपने 2 एटमॉस्फेयर का प्रेशर उसके अंदर डाल जा रहा है, तो वो 2 एटमॉस्फेयर का प्रेशर उसके ऊपर हमेशा रहेगा.
it will
और
be
वो उस
constant. Yes,
प्रेशर
sir.
को मेंटेन किस तरीके से करता है? वॉल्यूम में चेंज कर करके.
Okay.
क्लियर?
Yes.
फाइन. ओके जी. नाउ डेल्टा वी इज नॉट इक्वल टू जीरो. एज पर द फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, delta U will be equal to change in internal energy will be equal to Q plus W.
Yes, sir.
W is equal to minus P external delta V. Now in this case, P external is equal to zero.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this whole term will be equal to zero.
Yes, sir. So, yes, sir.
So only delta QP will be equal to delta UP external.
So won't that just be QP equals to delta U?
Yes, this will happen. Now this is not equal to zero. एक sorry, मैंने गलत बोल दिया. एक minute. Now what we are saying that P external will be constant value. It is not zero. It can be
Oh,
1,
yes, sir.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 atm, 2 atm, 3 atm, 4 atm, whatever it is, but it will remain constant. It is not going to change.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So delta U will be equal to QP minus P external delta V.
Yes, sir. We know that.
Now minus sign, W is equal to negative. What does it mean? That work is done by the system.
Yes, sir.
Clear? If you are providing heat to the system and work is done by the system, then QP
Yes,
will
sir.
be equal to minus P external delta V. Clear?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Now, if you are providing heat to the system and
QP
work
equals.
is done on the system,
Okay. Yes,
then
sir.
delta U will be equal to QP plus P external delta V. ये हो
Yes,
जाएगा.
sir. Okay, just swapping. Yes, sir.
ये भी हो सकता है. क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
फाइन. और सेम इसी डेल्टा U is equal to QP minus
So,
PV.
so if
इस
why
हाँ
is
बोलो.
P of EX not zero?
क्या?
Why is P external not zero?
P external is not equal to zero. तो
Yes, sir.
वैक्यूम नहीं क्रिएट हो गया अगर P external जीरो कर दूंगा तो मैं.
Oh, okay, okay.
और वैक्यूम क्रिएट करने पे क्या होगा? वर्क डन तो जीरो हो जाता है. याद आया?
Yes, sir.
फ्री
Yes, yes,
एक्सपेंशन.
got it, sir.
ठीक
Got
है
it.
ना? क्लियर?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अब इसी को मैंने अगर चेंज करके पी एक्सटर्नल को उधर भेज दिया, तो डेल्टा यू प्लस पी ई एक्स विल बी इक्वल डेल्टा वी. सेम ही चीज हो गई ये भी. दिस इक्वेशन एंड दिस इक्वेशन इज अ सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ थिंग. आइसोबारिक प्रोसेस इज क्लियर.
Yes, sir. I got it.
गॉट इट? एनी डाउट?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
चलिए अब आ जाओ आइसोथर्मल. आइसोथर्मल का मतलब है टेम्परेचर रिमेन
Picture
कांस्टेंट.
is constant.
डेल्टा टी विल बी इक्वल टू सेम. zero. Delta T will be equal to 0. That is, there is no change in the temperature. Okay. Now, if you are not changing temperature, then what will happen? There will be no change in the internal energy, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So delta U will be equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
So delta U will be depending upon Q plus W.
Yes, sir.
We know delta U
Zero
as per
equal
the
to,
this is
yes,
the
sir.
as per the first law. Delta U is equal to Q plus W. Delta U is will be equal to 0. So 0 will be equal to Q plus W. So Q will be equal to minus W as per the isothermal process. Or you can say W is equal to minus Q. Now,
Okay.
इसका मतलब क्या है? What does it mean? It means whatever the heat a system is absorbing is entirely used by the system for the work done. समझ में आई बात ये वाली क्या हो रहा है देखा?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At isothermal process, this delta U will be equal to 0. Now, in order to change the internal energy, Q plus W should be your solution. Fine.
Yes, sir.
But you are doing these things at the constant temperature. So it will become 0. Q will be equal to W and it will move to the left hand side. So Q will become minus W. Minus W means work is done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Work is done by the system. Okay.
I got it, sir.
It means you are supplying heat to the system. Now all of this heat is used in order to do work done. So heat absorbed is entirely used for doing work by the system on the surrounding, or
Okay, sir.
work done by the system on the surrounding results in the release of heat to the system.
So the whole heat is used.
अब सपोज करो मैंने क्या करा, जैसे ये है Q इज इक्वल टू माइनस डब्ल्यू है, अब W इज इक्वल टू माइनस क्यू भी तो हो सकता है,
Yes, sir.
ये हो सकता है नहीं हो सकता है?
क्या happen?
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
This point. Now अगर Q is equal to minus W है, it means whatever heat you are absorbing, each and every heat is used by the system in order to do work. If W is equal to minus Q, it means that work is done on the system and system is giving you some amount of heat. Clear?
Yes, sir.
The third point बड़ा important है, ध्यान से.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear? चलिए जी. Now fourth is adiabatic. Adiabatic के अंदर क्या था? No amount of heat is going inside, no amount of heat is coming outside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है जी? Change in heat will be equal to 0.
Zero. So delta Q is 0, right?
Delta Q will be equal
Yes,
to
sir.
0. Fine.
Yes, sir.
अब आ जाओ और Q will be equal to 0.
Both of this.
Both adiabatic, whatever the heat, ये system है, system के अंदर you are not going to provide any kind of heat. You can't provide or heat cannot move out. So Q will be equal to 0. First law of thermodynamics, delta U will be equal to Q plus W.
Yes, sir.
अब Q तो 0 हो गया. Q is 0. So delta U will be equal to W only. ठीक है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what does it mean? It means in the whatever the change is there, which is occurring in the internal energy, is because of the work done.
Okay,
There
sir.
is no role of heat. Adiabatic system के अंदर internal energy में अगर change होता है वो किस वजह से होगा? That means it is because of the work done. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So work done by the system is equal to the increase in the internal energy of the system, or work done by the system is due to the expense of system's internal energy, which is decreasing in the process. Is that clear?
Got it. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Got it? Quickly note
Yes,
down
sir.
these. These are really, really very important definitions. These 4 definitions along with the
Yes, sir.
first law. अगर ये समझ में आ गया, आधी thermodynamics खत्म है बेटा. Most of thermodynamics is finished.
Sir, how many laws are there?
3 plus 1, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. But we have to study only 0, 1 and 2. Third and law 4, third 0, 1. Okay. 2 and third one is not there as much as in class 11th.
Minus if it's
So in this question,
so
what
if
we are given is W is equal to minus 20 kilojoule.
yes sir.
Minus का मतलब क्या? What does it
It's
mean? It means system
yes
is
sir.
doing work.
Doing
System
yes
work
sir.
कब करता है? Whenever it is expanding. So negative sign indicates expanding system
Loses
loses
yes sir.
work
Minus
energy and does work
and does
on
work.
the
Yes sir.
surrounding. Clear?
Yes sir.
Fine. चलो जी. अब this is question number 1. This is question number 2. Question number 1 and 2. अब ये बताओ how we are going to do these two questions. How you did it?
So delta U equals to Q
Delta
plus
U is
W,
equal
right?
to Q plus
Q plus
W.
W. Yes sir. Delta U
Okay.
equals to Q
So a
minus
gas absorbed 200 joule of heat. Absorb है तो it means positive है.
Q is yes sir.
Positive
Q
and expands
minus
by 500 centimeter cube. Now 500 centimeter cube is the expansion. It means
yes sir.
negative work done.
Yes sir.
So minus P external
That
500 into
2 into 10 power 5.
constant pressure is this one.
Yes sir.
Delta V change in volume is this one.
Yes sir.
And this is 2 into 10 power 5. 2 into 10 power 5. Per what the point is that this is 500 centimeter cube. You have to convert it into meter cube.
No, I don't think you use 500 now.
Huh?
So delta V equals to 500 into 10 power. Okay, so continue.
And the delta V is this one beta centimeter.
Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. It's
जो
correct
है
sir.
fine, but it is in the meter na. So
Yes
you
sir.
have to
Yes sir. You have to
make
convert.
unit same na.
Yes sir. Yes sir. I
तो
did that
उसके बाद
first.
हाँ तो
Yes sir.
that you have to also convert ना. This 500 है. So this 500 centimeter cube. What will be its unit in the meter? 100 centimeter will be equal to 1 meter.
Yes sir.
ठीक है. अब इसका मैं क्यूब कर देता हूँ. Cube will be equal to 1 cube.
So you want in cube meter or meter cube or
Meter cube only na.
will be like 0.0005.
So it means 100 into 10 power 3
Yes sir.
multiply by 100 into 10 power 3. It means 6. 10 power 6 हो गया.
Yes sir. That was 6.
तो सेंटीमीटर से मीटर में कन्वर्ट करना है मेरे को. तो माइनस हो जाएगा या प्लस होगा?
Minus
500 into 10 power minus
10
6.
power minus 6. Yes sir. And how not say?
सॉरी. ठीक है जी. तो
Yes sir.
सॉरी 1 into 10 power minus 6 हो गया ना भैया. 500 into 10 power minus 6.
Into
Sorry.
10 power minus 6. Yes sir.
10 power minus 6. Now this 10 power minus 6 and this one cancel out.
Cancel. Yes sir.
Only 10 power minus 1 will be left.
1.
This 0 will also move out. Okay, so 2 into
200 minus 100.
50.
100. Yes sir.
100, 100, 200 minus 100 will be equal to 100 only. Is that clear?
Yes sir.
Fine. चलिए जी.
Yes sir. Yes,
अब now फटाफट tell me about the second one.
I'll do it.
हाँ हाँ, do it, do it, do it. Question is express change in U when. First is no heat is absorbed by the system from the surrounding. No heat is absorbed by the system from the surrounding, but W is W, work is done on the system. And what type of wall we are using? What type of wall does system have? Now tell me this question. What
Sir,
will be the answer of this?
we know that, sir, if no heat is absorbed, delta
Hmm?
Q equals 0.
Very good.
And then from the first law of thermodynamics for the processes,
Hmm?
adiabatic process, delta Q equals 0. So it
Hmm?
has adiabatic wall.
Very good. So how we are going to write this answer as an answer? Just write it down in your
Uh,
notebook. No heat is
since no
absorbed
heat is
means,
absorbed, delta Q equals 0.
so solution will be equal to Q will be equal to 0
Yes,
as
sir.
because
No heat is
no
absorbed.
heat is
So,
absorbed. You have to write each and everything.
yes,
Okay? Therefore, delta U we know delta
first
U is equal to we know
Q plus W.
Q plus W because of first law of thermodynamics. You have to write down everything. Okay? So delta U will be equal to 0 plus W.
Yes, sir. Delta equals
Okay? And whenever delta Q will be 0, so which type of system it is? This is adiabatic system.
adiabatic. Yes, sir. So it has adiabatic wall.
So it will be having a adiabatic system, adiabatic process. So it means delta U. Now work is done on the system means W will be capital.
Yes,
So
sir.
this will be your expression for this particular equation.
Yes, sir.
And wall is adiabatic. Clear?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Ji. Second is no work is done on the system, but Q amount of heat is taken out from the system and given to surrounding. अब बताओ जरा expression and what type of wall we have and what
Uh,
type of wall.
so delta U equals to minus Q, right? In this.
No work is done on the system, so it means
Yes,
W
sir.
will be equal to 0. But
0,
Q
yes,
amount
sir.
of heat is taken out, so Q will be negative.
Yes, sir.
So
That's why delta
Q
U
will be
equals to
negative as it is moving
minus
out.
Q.
Delta
Yes,
U
sir.
will be
So
equal to Q plus
minus,
W.
yes, sir.
W is
And
equal to 0
0
and this Q will become negative.
is taken out,
So
so
delta
it's
U will be
negative.
equal to minus Q.
Q, yes, sir.
This will be our expression.
Yes, sir.
Now, what type of walls we have?
So it conducts heat.
Yep, very good. So those type of wall are known as thermally conducting wall.
Okay, sir.
So wall
Thermal
will be conducting or thermally conducting walls. Clear है? Any doubt?
no, sir.
ठीक है जी एक सेकंड रुक जरा Just a second. हम्म, अब इसके अलावा अच्छा चलो एक ये वाला क्वेश्चन करके बताओ मेरे को. व्हाट विल बी द आंसर ऑफ दिस वन? कैलकुलेट W, Q and delta U when 0.75 mole of an ideal gas expands isothermally, reversibly at 27 degrees Celsius from volume of 15 liter to 25 liter. ठीक है? Now this question. Last
So
class
do
we
you
have
have to use
discussed
that W max?
W
Right?
is equal to nRT ln V2 by
Yes, so you have
V1
to
वाला
use that
फॉर्मूला.
one, right?
Yep, ये वाला फॉर्मूला करना है.
Minus 2.3.
Now listen. So formula we have is equal to W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log V2 by V1. This is our formula. Okay. N is given 0.75. R value is gas constant. It will be given in the question. Okay. But I have not told you. So R value is 8.314. For now, you have to use 8.314. Okay.
Okay, so
Then we have temperature. Temperature is given. Kitna temperature hai? 27 degrees Celsius.
yes,
You
so
have to convert this
27
into
plus Kelvin. 27 plus 270
plus
to 300.
273. 273 is equal to
300.
300 Kelvin. V2 will be equal to 25 liter and V1 will be equal to 15 liter. So these are all the things given. Okay. Put each and everything in our equation. So W will be equal to minus 2.303 into 0.75 into 8.314 into 300 into log 25 by 15. If you solve all of these things, you will get answer 955.5 joule. This will be your work done. Now, how you are going to solve this log and things that we will discuss later on.
5 by
But log 5 by नहीं ऐसा नहीं करेंगे इसको. Okay.
So you can cancel it out.
You can cancel it out, but I will tell you separately how we are going to find out all these things. Now, negative is there. Work done is coming negative. It means this is this is a case of expansion. Clear?
Yes, sir.
W khatam. Q and delta U we have to calculate. Now, delta U will be equal to Q plus W. Okay.
So just
Now,
be minus plus 90.
isothermal process. Isothermal process. So it means delta U will be equal to 0
Yes, sir. So 0 equals to Q.
as process is isothermal. Okay. So Q will be equal to W. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, not Q will be equal to W. minus W.
Minus W.
So Q will be equal to minus W if it is move out, or we can simply write W will be equal to minus Q. So Q will be equal to positive 955.5 जूल. ठीक है, clear है?
Yes, yes.
Got it? So this will be our solution for this particular question.